Hello, Lincoln, Nebraska. This is Andrew Nowak of Slow Food USA coming to you from Denver, Colorado. It is with great pleasure that I am taping this webinar for your consideration today. I apologize for not being able to speak to you live, but I am currently traveling in Europe, and which made my participation very difficult. But however, I am very happy to record this webinar to share with you what we're doing in Denver, Colorado around farm to school and the relationship between the school district and the nonprofit that I work for, Slow Food. So I'm going to go over a little introduction of Slow Food and a little bit about myself, and then get into a discussion about the programs in Denver. So, what is Slow Food? Slow Food is a worldwide movement of very passionate folks around food. Our movement started 25 years ago in Italy when a McDonald's was scheduled to be opened across from the Spanish Steps in Rome. The Italian farmers saw this as a threat to their food culture, so they organized a protest, and thus began the beginning of slow food. We are currently, from our roots in Italy, we are currently in 170 countries around the world. Here in the United States, our headquarters are in Brooklyn, New York, and Denver, Colorado, and we have about 150 chapters spread across the country. Slow food is a lifestyle choice. We are very passionate about the food that we eat. We are concerned about the environmental impacts of the food that we eat, and we are concerned about the treatment of workers, the farmers, the ranchers, the field laborers, everyone associated with the food system. It's also a shift in our priorities. We cook. We feel it's important to cook at home. We look for local foods whenever possible. We make connections with our farmers and our ranchers. We support businesses that support local foods. We support businesses that support food that is raised in mind of the environment and treats the workers well. We are the leaders in local food promotion. We support programs that bring attention to the farmers and ranchers that grow the food, to the processors that process our food in respectful manners. And, we are often called the local foodies. We are also a nonprofit network of very passionate people. It should be noted that the people that you meet at Slow Food Chapters, they're all volunteers. This is a volunteer-led network. I personally am a father and husband. I have two grown children out in the world now. My wife and I still live in Denver. I am a culinary professional of about 25 years of various restaurant and catering experiences. I am an educator. I have a PhD in psychology, and I've been teaching at various levels of education over the years, and I've been a gardener for most of my life. So Slow Food has allowed me to bring my passions of culinary, education, and gardening together into one project. For 14 years, I was a leader of Slow Food Denver, participating in the school garden program and helping to bring that program from its beginning to one of the stronger school garden programs in the country. Currently, I am the director of school garden programs for Slow Food USA, and I base this program out of Denver. I'm also on the Colorado Farm to School Task Force, being appointed by our governor about 5 years ago. And you'll hear a little bit more about the task force later in my presentation. So when I talk about farm to school programs, I usually start with this definition from the National Farm to School Network. Farm to school is defined as programs that connect schools and local farms with the objective of serving healthy meals in school cafeterias, improving student nutrition, and providing agricultural, health, and nutrition education opportunities, and supporting local and regional farmers. These are the programs that are trying to make those connections between the local agricultural scene and the schools, both in the cafeterias and in the classrooms. There are three main pillars of farm to school as defined by the National Farm to School Network. School food procurement is the one that's typically thought of when you mention farm to school, and that is the local purchasing programs that many school districts are now underway. But there are also two other pillars that are just equally as important. Education around these foods is very important. Why should we be eating this food? Why is this food healthy for our bodies? Where is this food coming from? Who are the people that grow this food for us? How is it traveling? Where is it coming from? And then school gardens have recently been recognized as a very vital part of farm to school. This is where a lot of the hands-on experiences that the kids get to see in the school setting around how food is grown, harvested, and then hopefully in many cases how it's eaten and cooked and prepared. So these three pillars of farm to school allow school districts to get involved at different levels. In my experience, school districts often get involved in farm to school first through school gardens, and using that educational tool, get the kids prepared for fresh food coming from local farms, and then move into a local procurement program. But there really is no one correct way to enter farm to school. It's just what will work for your district and for your community. Here in Denver, our local chapter, Slow Food Denver, has two main programs. The community table program is the way we reach out to the overall community to connect them with their local food, be it through farm tours, lecture series, film nights, special events at restaurants, speaker series, all bunch of different ways we bring the local food scene to the community and the community out to the local food scene. I'm not going to talk any more today about the community table program. I'm going to focus on the Seed to Table program, which is our school garden program. This program was launched in 2001 with the beginning of the Slow Food Denver chapter, and I joined the chapter shortly thereafter that start and was the leader of that program for the next 14 years. Our mission in the Seed to Table program is to give kids the opportunity to have a meaningful relationship with food, and with the overall goal is to transform the school food system so that the kids are surrounded all day long by healthy food. We place a huge emphasis on hands-on experiences involving the community and what we consider are the pleasures of the table, the food that we all have the right to sit down and enjoy. Slow food seed to table projects help to strengthen the food communities by engaging the youth today. We feel very strongly that by teaching children now about healthy food and good food, that they will become the next advocates for a healthy food system. Partnerships are very important in this kind of a program, as slow food chapters tend to be relatively small. So we here in Denver have many important partnerships, some with other nonprofits like Denver Urban Gardens, who maintains the community gardens across the city. Learning Landscapes is a program that helped develop the outdoor spaces around the elementary schools in Denver over the last 12 years. Cooking Matters is a cooking program for low-income families, teaching them the skills and the knowledge so they can cook healthy meals on a limited budget. School Food Focus is a national organization of large school districts that is working together to increase the opportunities for local procurement. And then we have partnerships with different businesses like Whole Foods and Chipotle that support us with fundraisers and food donations and other opportunities. And the school district I'm going to focus on today is Denver Public Schools and the work we've been doing with them now for almost 8 years. So a little bit about Denver Public Schools. It's the largest urban school district, largest school district in the state of Colorado with 150 schools, 86,000 students, 85 elementary schools, which is the primary focus of our projects, although we do participate in middle and high schools. The district overall has a 75% free and reduced rate. It is the only school district in the city and county of Denver. And most of the school gardens that you'll be seeing today were built by the Learning Landscapes Project, which was an overall improvement program for the outdoor spaces in the elementary schools. Our program is almost a year-round program. We do start in February inside the classroom with seed starting classes for the kids. These are wonderful classes for younger children, usually K through second grade, in which they are planting seeds in pots, growing the plants on light tables, and learning how to transplant these baby plants into bigger and bigger pots until they're ready to go outside. This is the picture on the left shows a first grader transplanting her tomato plant into a larger pot. These are very good programs for that grade because it aligns very well with their science standards around plant life and growth cycles and things like that. Our growing season allows us to put these plants outside, usually in May, maybe late April, but we usually spend a couple of weeks in May getting the gardens planted before the kids go home for summer recess. Over the course of the summer, the school garden teams at every school are responsible for the summer maintenance. Some of them recruit families over the course of the summer to take care of the gardens by watering and weeding and doing some little harvesting when necessary. Some of the schools create summer garden clubs, which brings kids to the schoolyard a couple days a week with parent volunteers or teachers, where they participate in different garden activities and help with the maintenance of the gardens. Our whole goal is to have full gardens of lots of food when the kids come back to school in mid-August, so that we can begin our classes engaging the kids with the food that's coming from the gardens. I'm going to discuss a series of programs that we do in the fall with the kids. And what I want you to notice is how the kids are involved hands-on with food and with the community, and how each of the programs allows the kids to become increasingly involved in different aspects of the food systems in their community. So we're going to start with taste education. And this is simply getting the kids to eat this food, getting the kids to taste it off the plant, bring it into the cafeteria or the classroom where we conduct some simple cooking classes with this. Very often just using the raw produce coming out of the garden. The picture on the left shows students making pesto. These are kindergartners using a mortar and pestle, learning how to use simple tools to transform these plant materials of basil and garlic and other wonderful things into simple pestos, which they enjoy on bread and pasta. The picture on the right shows fifth graders completing a 3-day project in which they're making corn tortillas from corn that they actually grew, dried, took off the husk, processed the kernels, ground them in grinders, mixed them with fat, and now are shaping shaping the tortillas that will be made into quesadillas for their enjoyment. So these are classes in which the kids are getting a lot of hands-on experience on how to handle food, how to create flavors that they enjoy. And so we consider these taste education classes as ways to get kids to learn how to feed themselves, learn how to take simple food and create something that they're really happy with and that they will enjoy. Taking the school garden program up a notch, we were invited about 6 years ago by the food service department to work on protocols to see what it would take to get the school garden produce into the cafeteria to be served on the salad bars during lunch. So I worked with the health department in Denver to come up with a series of protocols so that the kids and volunteers in the gardens can grow safe food, can harvest that food safely, and deliver it to the cafeteria, and then helping the cafeteria staff process that food so that it could be served on the salad bars. We are now in our 6th year of the Garden and Cafeteria program in Denver, and having huge success with this. This slide shows some of the data for the first 5 years. We've engaged about 30 schools in this program, harvested just about 6,000 pounds of fruits and vegetables from the gardens. The district buys this produce from the kids, and the money from this sales goes back to support the school gardens. And so we've almost generated about $7,000 to support the school gardens. And we grow so far about 30 different crops that are harvested for the cafeteria, including tree fruit and a whole variety of fruits and vegetables coming from the garden beds. Um, Going back to that slide, the garden and cafeteria program allows the students to participate in the food supply chains that supply the cafeteria with the fresh food that is served for lunch. So the kids are actually acting as farmers, and they get to participate as a farmer and get to understand what it takes to grow healthy and safe food all the way from seed and all the way to the delivery into the cafeteria. So through this program, they are gaining the skills to feed their schoolmates and to feed their school community, and which is a pretty lofty experience for a typical urban school kid. Taking this up a notch again, we've 10 years ago we created a program called the Youth Farmers Markets, which allows the students to set up a farm stand on school grounds and sell the produce that's coming from their school garden. In this program, the kids are learning how to manage a small business, how to be entrepreneurs, how to do marketing, manage money, handle the finances, do customer service. The kids run all aspects of this farmers market, obviously with the support of parent volunteers, and they get to learn what it takes to bring food out into the community. This program typically runs for 8 weeks in September and October, and through those weeks, they get to see the same customers that come and visit them, and they see the value of this fresh food for the community, and they see how the community supports a market like this. This has been a very valuable experience for the kids on learning how they can use their efforts to feed their community. So their sphere of influence is increasing out into the community with these school gardens. Showing the last 5 years worth of data, this program is a very popular one in the schools. We've got about 50 school sites participating with additional three boys and girls clubs. We've done a total of 612 markets over these 5 years, sold just about 94,000 pounds of produce through the farmers markets, which has resulted in $112,000 worth of sales. We've purchased $61,000 of produce from local farms that is used to supplement the farm stand, so the kids can sell things like watermelon and corn on the cob and other things that we don't grow very well in school gardens. And all these sales have resulted in profits of close to $41,000 for the school garden programs. Again, this money going back into the programs to help with the financial sustainability of the school garden programs. Very successful. The fourth program is a relatively new program that we call Produce for Pantries, and this is an opportunity for the school gardens to donate fresh produce to a local pantry to help feed the hungry families in our community. This program has been a very valuable one that has started discussions in the school setting about what is hunger and why are there hungry people in our community, and what can we do as a community institution to support the hungry families that live around us. We work with a statewide group called Hunger Free Colorado that maintains a hotline a phone number in which school garden leaders can call and leave their zip code and find the location of a local food pantry that will take this fresh produce to serve its clients. So to support all these programs, Slow Food Denver has put together what we call the School Garden Alliance, which is a collaboration of groups to support school gardens. We've created this network that consists of Slow Food Denver, school districts, departments like the facilities departments and food services, school garden teams at every school site that consist of parents and teachers and other volunteers, and then community partners like those I described, Denver Urban Gardens and Cooking Matters, and even corporate partners like Chipotle and Whole Foods. We all work together to support the school gardens, to give them a structure so they can thrive and give the kids wonderful opportunities. Some of the benefits of this alliance is the ability to come to workshops to get some training, technical assistance through the partnerships, free seeds and plants in the spring when they're available, uh, curriculum resources. We've got strong connections to the district, so if we need help with water supplies or volunteer support, we can get that. The Alliance helps to manage the programs like the youth farmers markets and the garden and cafeteria. We help create different policies around food safety and volunteers, and we do a lot of marketing and communications for the school garden programs. The Alliance is a membership organization, $100 a year for the schools to join, but they receive many, many, many benefits for that $100, and we feel it's very beneficial, again, for the sustainability of these garden programs. Some of the resources we're providing are manuals that have lesson plans and curriculum in there around a whole bunch of topics like kitchen tools and cultural recipes and creating light tables and such. We've helped school districts create school garden handbooks so that all the rules and protocols are in place for a school garden leader to know what the district requires of a school garden. We've created original manuals like the Youth Farmers Market Manual that helps schools create their own programs. Since I've been part of Slow Food USA, we've created some original materials to support school gardens, like the School Garden Guide, which is a slow food best practices around managing school gardens, and then the Good, Clean, and Fair School Garden Curriculum, which we are publishing in 3 different volumes. The Good volume is now available on our website, and this involves lesson plans around sensory education and kitchen skills, all tied to school gardens and getting kids palates ready to accept all the wonderful flavors that come out of a school garden. So the school garden program in Denver has been very successful and is, continually engaging the kids. And I think this success has led the district to look at other parts of farm to school and how we can continue to transform the food culture in schools. I look at farm to school to have 4 legs in around the cafeteria. It typically starts with local procurement, getting food from local farmers. Typically needs to involve some staff training on how to handle this fresh food coming from the farms. Typically, school cafeteria facilities need some upgrading, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And then there's always education and marketing that needs to be built around these programs so that the kids accept the food and the parents are excited about the food that's being served in the cafeterias. So what I like to go through now is what we're doing in Denver to support these programs and how the district and the nonprofits like Slow Food Denver are working together to make these programs work really well. So in 2010, the Denver Public Schools launched their farm to school procurement program, in which we started purchasing food from local farmers and ranchers. We were able to start with some local beef from Mike Calicrate and Ranch Foods Direct out of Colorado Springs. This is 5-6 years ago when beef prices were a bit down, and so local beef was in plentiful supply at a reasonable cost. Since then, with the droughts and other pressures on the ranchers, the price of beef has gone up, and it's very difficult now to get local beef into the schools. But we still do a lot of purchasing of local fruits and vegetables. Colorado has a fair good supply of melons and tree fruit, and a lot of these get into the schools during the fall season. But we also have farms that do a lot of growing of your typical vegetables, your potatoes, your onions, your carrots, your tomatoes, and things like that. And we've been successful in getting those into the school kitchens. Once we started getting all this fresh local food into the school kitchens, we noticed that the staff was struggling handling this food because it was coming in a different form than they were used to getting in the kitchens. In the past, they would get bags of washed, chopped lettuce, and now they're getting whole heads of lettuce. So we recognized that we had to do some staff training. In 2010, we kicked off the scratch cooking boot camps in Denver Public Schools, which is a 3-week boot camp in which the staff get trained in all aspects of kitchen work, including knife skills, bread baking, how to handle raw cold food, and how to prepare hot soups and hot casseroles, and all the different aspects associated with scratch cooking. It took us about 15 months to train the 650 kitchen employees across the district, but now every new employee has to participate in the scratch cooking training within the first 3 months of their hire as they come into the district. About that same time in 2010, the district decided to launch salad bars in every school. And so the salad bars have become the main vehicle for the farm to school produce. In the fall, when we have lots of fresh produce from Colorado available, the salad bars are stocked with fruits and vegetables from Colorado farms and from the school gardens. And then throughout the rest of the year, when the Colorado produce is not coming in, it's stocked with as much fresh fruits and vegetables as it can be purchased through the supply chain. The additional pressure was put on the facilities in the cafeterias because of all this fresh fruits and vegetables that were coming in. We had to make sure that each kitchen had a produce sink so they could wash the produce that was coming in, and that they had adequate refrigeration so that they could store this. The fresh produce from the farms is of a larger size than the chopped bagged produce coming in from the distributor. So there was a big pressure on refrigeration. The school district went from once a week deliveries to the schools to 2 to 3 times a week deliveries to the schools because of the pressures put on the refrigeration in the school kitchens. We built an education program around the farm to school activities, bringing in local farmers to come speak to the kids about what they do and letting the kids ask questions to the farmers. The kids really enjoy meeting the farmers and hearing their stories. And we also have brought in various different nutrition programs into the cafeteria, such as superfoods, to promote the healthy aspects of this local food that's coming in and why kids should be excited about eating them. Marketing is a very key part of Farm to School. We want to let the community know where this food is coming from, get the parents excited about it so that they will be willing for their kids to participate in the school lunches. So Colorado Proud Day is a once a year event in September in which the governor of Colorado challenges the school districts to serve an all Colorado meal that day, and to promote it using maps and other types of posters to show the kids where the food is coming from. We bring in chefs into the district so that the kids can learn from chefs out in the garden and how to take the fruits and vegetables and make simple dishes that they enjoy, and bring the chefs into the kitchens to work with the kitchen staff to gain some valuable insights and skills from these professional chefs. So in Denver, we're always looking at ways to scale our farm to school program. We did a survey a couple years ago of all the land within the district, and we discovered that there were about 75 acres of underutilized or unused land across the district. This land represents areas on schoolyards as well as large expanses of land that the district already owns for perhaps future school builds. We started looking at this and thought that there may be better ways of using this land rather than just laying fallow. So we started a pilot program in which we selected 4 schoolyards, prepared them for growing food, and now we have launched the school farm project. These are areas on schoolyards that aren't being used for recess or PE classes or anything. And we define a school farm as at least a half of an acre in size. We have contracted with a local farmer that grows the food on these spaces. The district will buy the seeds and the plants. The farmer is responsible for planting, maintenance, harvesting, and delivery of the food to the central warehouse of the district. And then the district then distributes this food across the entire all the school kitchens. We are using organic protocols on these farms, although we are not organic certified. We are producing a variety of produce. We're concentrating right now just on vegetables, and our primary crops include zucchini, cucumbers, slicing tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, bell peppers, and a variety of greens. The produce is scheduled for harvest in the August, September, October time period when school's back in session, and all this food then is used in the school kitchens across the district. I have 2 years worth of data here for you, coming off a total of 2.5 acres. You can see the breakdown of the poundage for the different types of crops, with an overall total of 20,000 pounds of produce, again, organic produce, harvested off of this land, going into the school kitchens to feed the kids. We are looking at expanding this program to more acreage, and we're also looking at using some of our larger acreage for the possibility of a large greenhouse program on the scale of 3 to 5 acres, hydroponic greenhouse in which we could grow greens and other vegetables year round, and not worry about the challenging Colorado growing environment. I just want to finish off with another plug for the Colorado Farm to School Task Force. This is a legislative task force that was created 5 years ago. There's 15 members that sit on this task force that are charged with supporting farm to school efforts across the state. They have a wonderful website, coloradofarmtoschool.org, that has lots of resources. And the fact that Nebraska is our neighbor, I am pretty confident that the Colorado Farm to School Task Force would be happy to support efforts that are happening in Nebraska, such as yours in Lincoln. So feel free to reach out to us and let's discuss how we can support each other. So that is the end of my presentation. I have a couple of websites listed on this slide that will provide you with some further details and information. Again, I thank you for the opportunity to share what's happening here in Denver. I look forward to the opportunity to come visit Lincoln at some point and meet with everybody and see the actions and activities that are happening around Farm to School. And I wish you very good luck in your progress moving forward. Thank you.